Let's just watch it.
First open field area.
Oh man, that was a good laugh.
Preview that I wish I could have shared earlier. Just seeing the character traverse the world is such a thrill, and there are a ton of small hidden details throughout this video. For example, here you'll notice that ambient music is playing, similar to how it does in Sekiro.
It's better on this video compared to what I was watching on the stream.
Threads of light, which
it was kind of funky earlier.
To a nearby site of lost grace. Since the
oh yeah, VaatiVidya's
so
on it, man. I think this went live or went up like a couple hours ago.
Graces are a type of checkpoint.
He might have had it in the tuck already, because he has access.
Skills, choose your spirit summons, and even summon the Firekeeper character.
This the guy I gotta talk to. This is the guy.
This cutscene is set to play early in the game when you rest at a grace. Note that this character appears out of a
married?
Blue light, phasing into the physical realm.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina.
Considering all of the references to spirits in the lands between, I wouldn't be surprised if we're between life and death, or
it's funny when the captions get it wrong.
It's a common motif for the Firekeeper maidens to have a veiled face in some way, and Melina is no different with her hood.
I offer you an accord.
An accord is a sort of mutual agreement. According to the Elden Ring Twitter,
I know what an accord is.
Vaati, fellowship here. In this place, the new hub world of Elden Ring. But back to the gameplay.
Your DM's open? What's up?
Leaves, you touch this
What's up, Vaati?
Grace, and another thin
guidance
of grace appears. This light
you free to
guide
chat?
Towards your next objective, probably towards the next logical site of grace.
Melanin.
The way we quickly mount up while moving
it sounds like
a really good idea of how the mount might be able to be used in combat to quickly close a gap. Look carefully here and you'll see many wild animals and materials as well.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
These can be used in item crafting, something seen later in the trailer.
I didn't even notice the animals. What the heck?
The dragon flies in from an insane distance. It goes towards this pyre surrounded by hollows, and he targets that, not you. So this is just one enemy that inspired a new displate design.
There goes Melodic. Look at Melodic. They copied Breath of the Wild.
Literally right now, 20% off in celebration of this new gameplay. Link in the description, so check it out if you need.
What do you mean, Melodic? The horseback?
I'll talk about it properly later in the video. So
this dragon
is a field boss. It's one of many found in the open field area of the game. From Software mentioned that these bosses vary in
you gotta get under
that they are
under that belly.
So you fight them at your own risk or benefit.
Or stay on the horse, I guess, yeah. That's what I would do, just slash his neck.
Against a larger foe, where you'll often need bursts of speed to chase them down or to avoid larger AoE attacks.
His voice is so soothing.
This character is clearly using a sorcery build.
He's got one of the most...
Sorcery build. There's a joke there somewhere. Casting while mounted looks
He's got one of the most
powerful,
soothing voices.
Right? Look carefully and you see the character casting a soul dart spell at full speed, though it does seem that characters have to slow down in order to cast heavier spells.
Look at this empty open world. Light Shadow, what? Do you not see this big ass dragon?
To deal with mounted
you good, Light Shadow? What's going on?
Maybe the AI detects
What's going on, sir? Or are you talking about Breath of the Wild? Melodic. Now I know. I'm just teasing.
Help me. I'm stuck. Hello? Please, anyone.
It's very windy.
Oh, my stars. I'm so happy to see you. I am Alexander, also known
Alexander.
as Fist. And as you can see, I'm stuck.
I go for the neck. Sometimes, Kev, I do. Sometimes.
Help me out of this. Put those doubts to rest. I'll be just fine. I'm very well trained. Give it your all, I say.
This NPC, man. I have no words. Discovering something light-hearted like this in the open world just gives the game so much character.
Depends on the person. Like, if I know we're cool and we're friends and we give each other a hard time, yeah, I'll go at you. If it's some rando on Twitter or something, I just ignore him.
Well played, sir. Well played.
I had some people in my mentions today going at it. They were fighting amongst themselves about how Dark Souls is trash and Sekiro's better or not better. They were having a whole thing. I just ignored it.
Try and find them. on this
I
map
love this
that
part.
the player pulls out. Finally, I can show this. I adore its design, the contouring, the detail.
I adore
and
its
that sort of
design.
parchment
Vaati,
style
I adore
just looks
you.
amazing.
What's
At the
up?
bottom right, you can see a dial
What's up,
that's
Vaati?
displaying the cycle of day and night. Around the land
I
mass
adore
on the
its
map
design.
is an ocean.
I
Or maybe
adore
it's
your
the
design.
sea of fog that's
Where them
melanin
codes at?
infused. Either
Need them
way, there are
codes.
boats and
Give me a
rowboats
code.
upon it. You can place up to 100 markers on the map. The symbols are
100?
pretty good,
Damn.
able to remind you of things like difficult enemies, somewhere to return
I'll
to
probably
to
put a
explore
max of
further,
like
or
2.
valuable treasure. Some points of interest also appear to have their own preset markers. You can also press buttons on the map to show sites of grace. You can also place beacons on the map,
You got
which
that look
show
again?
up as pillars of
What is
light
it? The
on
gray,
overworld.
gray
In the quest
sweatpants?
demo, they appeared numbered
Sweatpants
on the
look.
compass, which appeared at the top of the screen. So it's clear that you can place multiple of these. In this scene, the player runs past a sort of
There's a goat right
lightning
there.
event here.
How
The
did I not
lightning
notice these
seems to
animals the
generate
first
a
time?
bunch of little grace icons. I
I
wish
just
they
was
stuck
not paying
around
attention.
to show what that's about, but we have a caravan to assault.
Maybe I'm
and
so
our
used to
character's
like
going
open
there to
world, I just
grab
don't
its
even
loot.
notice things
These
like
birds
that.
react so slowly that they can probably be hit with melee attacks and hunted for resources.
Hmm.
These resources can be used in this crafting screen. Items show you the resources you need to craft them, and the resources have a little line that
Crafting.
tells you where you might be able to gather them.
Found by
Here, on
hunting
the right,
beasts.
we see a new
Yeah.
stat.
So it'll tell you where to
Arcane.
get.
This is in
There's the
addition
birds
to
right there.
intelligence for magic and
Vaati,
faith
you
for
missed it.
miracles. Souls are now called runes. There's also the return of poise. As we fire
Poise.
a sleep arrow, notice that a tense ambient music has started playing as we stealthed into the camp. Once we start killing, combat music plays, just like in Sekiro. Apparently, killing a sleeping enemy means that you've left stealth. If this alerts nearby enemies, it's probably a way to balance sleep arrows from just letting you sleep and kill enemies easily. Jumping
See how
heavy
he
attacks
notices
are great
these
at
things?
breaking
Like,
enemy guards.
I
It's
didn't
like
even
breaking
notice
their posture,
that.
basically, and it allows you to perform a critical attack. Here, the character showcases some skills.
he playing
These
Sekiro
can be
music in the
freely
back?
swapped between various
That wasn't
weapons.
during the
Some of these
gameplay.
look absolutely incredible.
That's
and as we've
Sekiro
learned
music
from Dark
right there.
Souls 3, they have to be, because otherwise people just won't use them. Difficult areas allow for the summoning
So that
of
was cool, you
helpless
guys.
spirits.
Like, I didn't even notice that. He did the sleeping arrow and it was like ambient, like not even music. But then once he attacked, the music kicked in. So it's like they're alerted.
Spirits.
So it's
You
like
can
Sekiro.
customize which spirits you'd like to summon at a grace check.
I didn't even catch
Every
that.
spirit has different advantages and disadvantages. For example, immediately after being summoned, this mob starts screaming. This aggroes way
Hmm.
more enemies, which is a negative part of these summons to offset the fact that, you know, there's like 6
See? Yes, so it's like you have a risk and reward. They all screamed.
spirit has different advantages and disadvantages. For example, immediately after being summoned, this mob starts screaming. This aggroes way more
So it's like,
enemies,
okay,
which
you want to have this help? Well, you're going to be really loud. You're going to alert and aggro these other enemies. So let's say you have like 2 or 3 enemies you want to fight, but there's some in the distance. And you're like, I don't know, because then they'll come. Maybe you're low on health or something like that. I like it. That means we got to think about what we're going to do. You can't just spam
is a
this
negative
stuff and
part
like, oh,
of
it's the
these
easy way
summons
out. Like, no, you got to
offset the
think about it a
fact
little
that,
bit.
You know, there's like 6 of them.
That's
it's an
good.
interesting way of balancing things.
Balancing.
So, since there are only 4 players max allowed in one world of Elden Ring,
These
since
outfits.
you're allowed to co-op with up to 2 other people, in a lot of cases
Oh,
it
it's
seems
only
like that's
2.
only going to leave 1 spot for an invader. Additionally, invaders can now only
I thought it
invade
was
players
4.
who are
It's
engaged
3?
in co-op and not solo players.
Unless there's a
People
max you
have
can put
rightfully
down.
raised some
What's up,
concerns
Keenan,
about
by
this,
the way?
So it's worth giving them feedback on that when the network test airs soon. It's worth reminding you also that falling damage has been significantly reduced in Elden Ring to help you navigate the world. As these characters
Less fall
progress into
damage.
the forest, listen again to the music.
I
It's
figured.
suspenseful and foreboding. There are a lot of enemies in this wood, and if they call for help, then I bet things could quickly
What does foreboding mean again? That's a word I like know but don't know and I don't
get
remember.
out of hand. This field boss is different than anything the press
remember
saw
reading
earlier
that in a
their
quote,
preview.
too.
It looks incredibly difficult, even in co-op.
When I
which is
covered
great.
one of the
and watch
news
this block
articles about
animation
Elden
carefully.
Ring and I read the quote.
Guarding this area.
Dread?
Did you hear that sound? So that was a sort
okay.
of block riposte. It's this new sort of counter that you can do after you block an attack. It has a special sound effect.
Because I remember
and
reading
this is
it
the
in a
first time
quote,
we've seen a
and
player
I
do
just
with a
read it.
shield
I didn't,
equipped.
say
Spells
it.
look insanely powerful. That's good, and they've always needed this kind of variety, so that's great. Just look at some of
Looks
these.
awesome. Look at that attack, man. That's straight from Aldrich. I feel like this game, like the magic and stuff, like you have like the lightning that was coming down before, and then you have those arrows. I feel like they took the stuff that the bosses were using in Dark Souls 3 and they gave us the powers. And that's amazing. Like, I like that a lot. Yeah, technically, maybe they're using the assets. It's like an easy way to do these things, but I like that idea. It's like, oh, bosses were doing that stuff, right? And the lightning and things like that. And then whatever, this is like more lightning, I think. Whatever that is.
If I had to guess, the red lightning and dragon head are arcane spells that might use the new stat mentioned earlier.
And this one, what is this? Oh, it's just like a beam.
So, assumedly, this is one of the many.
That's really neat,
subterranean
like to think of it that way. I don't know if that's intentional, but I'm choosing to think of it that way. That's pretty awesome.
The co-op phantom color here is interesting too. Sometimes it looks like they have no color, and other times they're almost entirely an orangey red. It's a pretty cool
I want
effect.
that pose
This
as like
is Stormvale Castle. The word veil.
some
as
like
in
thumbnail
the
art or
storm veils
something.
The castle. I love trying.
Maybe I should do that.
So, hey, I love how this is shaping up.
I should just pose. I'll like stand over here. I'll take a picture of myself. Freaking pose. My video, you guys. Then we got freaking Patches. It's probably Patches, this dude.
I would advise against taking the main gate into the castle.
Yeah, T-Rock, like a spell. Fearful apprehension, feeling something bad will happen. So foreboding. I learned a new word today.
You'll breach the castle undetected.
That's a word that's just not common. Like, I don't hear anybody ever use that word. I like it though.
Fair enough. You certainly don't have to trust me. Well, if you
Dead
must
giveaway
go
right there.
through the gates, I'll signal them to open. But of course, I'd advise against it.
I'm curious about this character's allegiance. The people of the castle listen to him, yet he's also a bit of a turncoat.
Then he tricks you. You
who
go
doesn't
through this
fear them
thing, and then
as
they
he
get
brazenly calls
shot.
for them to open the gates for us, and then guides us to a secret entrance. Having two very different ways to enter the castle is a wonderful design choice, and this variety consistently plays out as you explore the castle and see all the vertical exploration that's open to you.
I always liked Vaati.
A lot of weapon skills and spells.
He's got,
come
like,
with
the
these
best
associated
microphone.
symbols. Basic weapon skills don't, but they look fucking awesome regardless.
Damn, you said the F word.
It's good to see the traditional From Software traps. The NPC here is the same type as the character before. So what's their story?
Man said the
They all
F
have
word.
these restraints hanging from their necks.
Might
Are they
need a
prisoners
4-day weekend.
now
I
with
need
their
more than
hands
that,
set
T-Rock.
free?
I need a whole week.
Overall, as a legacy
this game.
dungeon, this is way more like Dark Souls.
I have a
except
lot of
now
leave
you
that
have a
I'm
jump,
saving up.
And as you've seen, that will just
I'm
change
ready.
level design in such an awesome way.
I think it's open season
This
for
guy
me to
has a pretty
ask
big
too,
head.
like request. So I might need to do it.
Nice to meet you.
Noel with the
pleasure's mine.
26
Roger
months.
is the name. A sorcerer.
Says I'll be on the lookout for your gameplay videos on this game before I make my purchase like I did with Sekiro.
Hot-footing it from the troops,
Noel,
that is. But
I appreciate that, but man,
what
Noel,
are you doing here in Stormvale
it's gonna be
Castle?
awesome.
This
You don't
place
need me to
is
tell you
bristling
that.
with tarnished soldiers, you know.
But I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the 26 months. That's my favorite number, 26.
Exactly a place I'd stroll into without a purpose.
Hype train is close. Cablestone with the subscription. Thank you so much, Cablestone. Welcome to the stream.
So this bird is the same one that was summoned in this screenshot. It seems a lot bigger than
Appreciate
its
it, appreciate it,
spirit-summoned
guys.
counterpart. So bear in mind that spirit
Riku isn't
summons
here.
aren't always
Yeah,
identical to
not yet.
the ashes
You
of
say the name,
deceased that
3
they're
times, they
summoned
might
from.
show up. Like a damn Beetlejuice.
Mighty dragon. Thou art a true-born heir.
Trueborn heir.
Strength, O kindred.
In this fight with Godric, we see the block counter again. this
Freaking
time
Godric.
with a weapon. This is a
That
great
name.
addition to
It had to be
combat while
Godric. That's
two-handing
too
a weapon,
funny.
Because blocking while two-handing was almost always a
So,
terrible
so Eric, I don't know if you can hear me right now. You might be at the movies. I don't know what you're doing, Eric. But I know you're going to be playing this game. You guys realize we're going to have Godric versus Godric in this moment right here? Two gods fighting
choice
each
in
other?
previous games, and at least now you have a way to get back into the combat with an offensive ability. The boss seems to instantly aggro onto your spirit summon. Bosses
Easy
seem to
mode.
have quite a few AoE attacks as well, or at least I
You can see
hope
the
they do.
ground right there just coming
Otherwise,
up.
spirit summons like this are going to be completely
Is it going to
useless.
stay like
This
that
magic
though?
attack
Because it
lets
looks
you
like
charge
the
sword,
ground is
which
just
cool. And in this
still
boss's
on
second
that part.
phase, he seems to get this
I wonder if
diseased
it's going to
dragon.
reshape everything. It
It's the
doesn't
same
look
sort of
like it
dragon
is.
design as the one that attacked us earlier, which
It might just
served
come up
as
and then come
inspiration
down.
for this brand new displate design with a really famous artist. If you need something beautiful
Displate.
to adorn your walls, something that contains.
I always wanted to get some
references to
displates, but they're
games
kind of
that you love,
pricey.
then
And they're not
watch
very
out.
big.
And thank you for the support. Justin Garrard is a highly acclaimed artist, renowned for his
Damn.
depictions of dragons and other monsters. His work is nostalgic, it's so playful, it has incredible color and fantastic detail. I could think of no one better to design a dragon
That's pretty
displate
cool.
design, so that's exactly
like
what we
it.
did.